Hi, parents. I'm Miss Coughlin. How are you? I will be your student's chemistry teacher. And chemistry. Chem is try, so we're going to be really focusing on your kids' participation and your completion, and really working to build their mathematical reasoning, their reading comprehension, their communication skills, their critical thinking skills, and their creativity while we are distance learning. There will be a bunch of opportunities for them to do some at-home activities, and that we will be filming some laboratories, and there will be some simulations. I would like to share with you a little bit about my class and the structure of my class so that you know what to expect. I also will be preparing some videos that can help you help your students. So how to navigate some things in parent view, some things to look for, some study skills to help them. But those videos will be coming later. So let me first just share a little bit about my, Okay, so this is the best way to contact me. My Google Voice number is 505-585-1145. Email is really the best way to reach me, coughlin@aps.edu. I check that several times a day. The school phone, which rings in my classroom, which I am here, especially during the block days, during my prep is about 8 to 9:45, and after 2:15, so that's after office hours. Little bit about me. I have my degree in chemistry with an emphasis in biochemistry from the University of San Francisco. I have done research in material science. I did hydrophobic helicopter blades. I've done doping of rare earth elements to increase optical signals. I've worked at the 88-inch cyclotron at Lawrence Berkeley Lab. I've worked at the Advanced Light Source, do it with tuberculosis proteins, high throughput screening of tuberculosis proteins. I've done energy efficient healthcare facilities for California. I have been an Einstein Fellow and worked on STEM policy work. I have a Fulbright Hays and I worked in the Brazilian Pantanal. What does that mean? That means that the way I run my classroom, I try to run my classroom a little bit more like a workplace. And I try to think about those 21st century skills that your kids are going to need to be successful after they graduate. They're going to need to have good communication skills. They're going to have good critical thinking. They need to be able to be creative, and they need to be collaborative. Now, in this online environment, how we get kids to collaborate with one another, I'm still working on that. So that's going to be coming in the future. I need your kids to really work with me to be present, prompt, polite, productive, positive, personally responsible, and present mentally, physically in our meetings so that they can work together, so that I can trust them when they go off to the Google Meets to work to finish their work. This year, they are going to need the following supplies. They should have a binder because there's going to be times where we're going to be doing math work and it just doesn't make sense to do digital things. They'll be able to take a picture of that and submit that to our Google Classroom. They'll need pens and pencils. Blue and black is my preference. A set of colored pencils would be useful. They don't need a brand new set, that's fine. A scientific calculator would be very useful, especially when we return in January. I would also like to have technology. They should have a Chromebook from school and they can get those resources here. If you choose to work on a faster computer, I completely understand. Call the school if you need access. The APS has several hotspots around campus or around the city. They will need a ruler. If your students don't have a ruler, it would be preferable if it has metric and English units on it. A composition book should look like this. We're going to use this to be their online laboratory notebook, so please use this. And then they will need some graph paper. If this is a graph paper notebook, then this will be sufficient. If not, they will need some additional graph paper. We will also have a long-term project, a project on building a periodic table of something other than elements. And they might choose to have a big poster board so they can be asynchronous and they can do something craft-wise and I can submit pictures. They can also do it digitally, and I will show them how to do both. If they can have a meter stick or a yardstick, I can teach them how to set that up so they can use it so that way you can have some quantitative labs. If they have a baking scale or if you have a coin scale at home, that would be potentially helpful. We hope to be able to do some things in the kitchen, and I will look forward to receiving an email from you that tells me it's okay if your kid does some things in the kitchen, so that they can have some laboratory experience there. In their Google Classroom, if you go to the classwork tab and you look on the side, you'll see I'm breaking it up by weeks, week 1, week 2, week 3. There's a resources tab. If you go to the resources, we're going to be using a few things. Khan Academy, that's our code. Primarily, that's going to be used for additional skill work. So if a student is having trouble on a test, if the pretest has identified that they're lower in some skills and they're not catching up, I'm going to recommend they do some additional practice things on Khan Academy. So that is how we're using Khan Academy. We are using an online textbook, which is a CK12 chemistry textbook. The class code varies depending upon which period they are in. In that resources tab, if you open the class comment, you'll see how they join that classroom. And you will see in the Synergy tab, that's going to be CK12, and there will be different sections. In this textbook, there will be readings. I have shown them a tool called Snap and Read so they can get the textbook to be read to them. They can also, there are practices that give them mathematical practice and test their reading comprehension. They have to get 10 questions in a row or it won't let them leave. They can get additional practice if they like. I will be pushing out some quizzes to that. So they can expect that there will be assignments from that weekly. We have the Google Classroom. Again, that code varies and your students have joined that. And then I will be using Synergy to track their official grade. And that would be the way that you can contact me. The way attendance is working, you might notice that there's a weird code system. If we skip to the bottom tab, you're going to see that the way it works is they see me 3 times a week, and they will probably have 3 things that they have to do each week. So you're going to see if they are getting 4 to 5 as their attendance contacts, they're probably doing most of the things. If they have 1 or 2, they have either missed a meet or they have zeros. So that should let you know. I do take late work. I'm not really working that hard. I'm not going to penalize kids for late work in the first term. The first 6 weeks, I know people are getting online and we're having some communication and there's some technology issues. So I'm not going to worry about late work yet. When we do come together, and I am going to expect students to turn in their work promptly, students may turn in work. If it is late, it is due 1 week before the end of each term, and they can get no higher than a 70% if it is complete. Incomplete work, the highest grade an incomplete assignment can get is a 60%. If they do poorly on a test or a quiz or a lab, they can redo it to increase their grade for 50 to 75%, and they have to explain what they did to get complete credit. They can come to office hours and I will help them do that. The grading policies, they're going to have things that are classified as homework, and this is the asynchronous work. This is going to be primarily that CK12 homework, or it's going to be some pre-lab, watch a video, take some notes, or watch a video, get ready for a laboratory. We will have some online quizzes and forms. There will be some laboratories or laboratory simulations. There will be regular assignments. We will have some exams. There will be a long-term project. And by policy, we do have to have a final exam, and it is 10. I'm going to make it 10%. The way I grade homework is if the program does not let them not get 10 in a row. So if they try to guess and they get a bunch wrong, they might get a 9 out of 10, okay? And that tells us that they had a lot of missed questions. If they get a 10 out of 10, then they got 10 in a row, and that is what we hope for. When we start turning in assignments mathematically in January, it's kind of a code system. If you see a 7 out of 10, that means they turned it in late. If you see a 6 or less out of 10, it was incomplete. Students can rewrite assignments, but they have to explain what the question asked. Then they have to do the question properly and explain the rationale. And I will, again, help them during office hours or by appointment. Again, this is the best way to contact me. Again, email Coughlin@APS is the very best, or that Google Voice. And my class rules are prompt. Please come to the early is on time is late is too late. So please ask them to log on to our class meets on time. They need to be prepared. So if I ask them to see a video before the lab so that they're prepared, please do that. I expect students to be productive in our time together. I'm trying to not have a lot of work outside of class unless that's finishing what we did in class. There won't be a ton of homework while we are in this digital mode. I expect all students to use please, thank you, excuse me. I expect students to use correct grammar and syntax, both when they are having things in the chat and when they email and when they turn in assignments. I expect students to have a can-do attitude. Again, remember, can is try. So they have to have that attitude of trying and this attitude of I might not be able to be good at it now, but I'm just not good yet. The power of yet. And then they have to be present in body and mind. So I don't need that one thing that's listening to music and I need students to be personally responsible. In this time of distance learning, if kids don't understand, I need them to be brave and turn on their mic and ask questions. I need them to be brave and come to office hours. I need them to turn on their camera, show their work, share their screen, ask questions. If they need help, if they need access to technology, so they just need to ask for the help they need. And that's what we mean when we be personally responsible. If they break equipment, don't hide it. Tell me they broke it so that I can clean it up correctly and safely. So that is our classroom. I look forward to seeing them in January. If you would like to contact me, we can have a video conference. People outside of APS can join meets, but I need to know who you are so that I can accept you. This is our classroom. We have a beautiful and well-equipped laboratory that I look forward to your kids being able to join us in January. I'm also the garden club sponsor. So if you want to be involved in our community garden, please do send me an email. And I look forward to meeting you. Don't hesitate to reach out and contact me via email or Google Voice or via phone. I look forward to working with your kids, and I have really enjoyed working with them as far as we have so far. We are Eldorado.